What's up guys, and welcome to the Gamebreakers World Cup Diary. This is the third episode, I believe, of this World Cup Diary, which sort of documents the ongoing sort of stories and events of the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. It's nearly been a full round of fixtures since we last looked at the ongoings in this tournament, so what I'm going to do is run through some results and some of the ongoings just very briefly, and then may go into more details about things as we go. So we'll start off with Uruguay-Costa Rica. Uruguay 1-0 up from a Cavani penalty after a Uruguayan player got rugby tackled in the box. It was 1-0 at half time, 1-1 after 54 minutes, and then Costa Rica went 2-1 up 3 minutes later and eventually went on to win the game. That was a surprise result in England's group. Speaking of England, they played Italy in their first game. Italy score first, Sturridge equalises 2 minutes later, and Balotelli then scores the winner in the second half. In my personal opinion, I feel England could have played a lot better. Yes, I know they had more chances, even though Italy sort of dominated in possession. England had the better chances, but the reason why I'm saying England could have played much better is, yeah, we had the better chances and we didn't take them. Italy took their chances, hence why they won the game. Something I will say as well, it's happened a lot in this World Cup, either early goals in second half stoppage time, or one team scores and the other team equalises a couple of minutes later, and there's not really that long between the first goal and the equaliser. So I will say this, that's happened quite a bit in this World Cup. Moving on then, history was made in the France versus Honduras game. France got the win. They won 3-0. Benzema with 2 goals and an own goal as well from Honduras. But the second goal for France was decided by goal line technology. The BBC commentator Jonathan Pearce sort of lost it on the air and complained that the technology wasn't working. But if you've seen video officiating used in other sports, they show every stage of the decision, and that's what happened in this instance. They showed the goal, the ball hitting the post, saying no goal, and then in the next instance the ball crossing the line and therefore the goal being given. So the technology was working, and it was working correctly despite some confusion. That's how video officiating works. Okay, it shows every single stage where the ball could potentially have crossed, and if all stages show no goal, then it's not a goal. If one of the stages shows goal, then it's a goal. That's how the technology should and will work. Anyway, moving on. Germany, Portugal in the other groups. Pepe was sent off for Portugal, and Thomas Muller scored a hat-trick for the Germans, who won that game 4-0. You know, typical German performance really. They always sort of come wandering into World Cups saying, "Oh, look at us, we're dominant," and yeah, rightfully so. They did it the last World Cup in South Africa, won the first couple of games quite comfortably, and by a quite high score as well. Moving on then, the first 0-0 of the tournament came in the Nigeria-Iran game. Defensive display from both teams really. It was what you call a typical boring 0-0 draw. Not really much happened to, you know, make note of or even make comment or judgment on, because there wasn't any substance to the game really. In contrast to that, the Brazil-Mexico match, which was the first match of the second lot of group matches, that also ended 0-0, but it was a much more attacking match compared to the Nigeria-Iran game. Any team could have won it at any time. It was that close. Brazil looked the more threatening though, and Mexico's keeper was in fine form. I tell you what, he got a lot of high praise from people through social media and even just people watching the game in general. He was in inspired form, and he played really well to keep his national side in the game and in the tournament. Cameroon versus Croatia. That, you know, was the other game in that group as well. Cameroon, I believe, are eliminated from the tournament. I believe. Because they were losing when I checked. I only saw the first half of this. I know they were losing 1-0. And I've seen it reported that they lost 4-0. So, you know, Cameroon eliminated from the tournament. Also eliminated from the tournament, the holders, Spain. That was a shock. They were eliminated through a 2-0 defeat to Chile. Chile knocking them out, and as a result of that, Australia were what I'm calling indirectly knocked out as well. They lost 3-2 to the Netherlands, but you know, they sort of indirectly are knocked out because even though they played earlier in the day, they could have still had a chance if Spain won. But because Spain lost, Spain were bottom of the group. Australia couldn't even get higher in the group because both Chile and the Netherlands are on 6 points. So Australia indirectly knocked out the World Cup due to Spain being knocked out. So yeah, that's it. A lot of stuff has happened in the 2014 FIFA World Cup. As I said, we're into the second round of group matches now, so every team will be playing their second match in this tournament, and we'll see a lot more teams being knocked out. Maybe a few surprises along the way, I don't know. Something I am going to comment on, and it's something that I've mentioned in past videos. The Vanishing Spray, high praise for it. There's been a lot of high praise from pundits and commentators, and just basically sporting personalities about the Vanishing Spray, saying that it's working and it you know, it's cutting out those silly yellow cards that players can pick up for encroachment in the wall. You know, it's something that I picked up on in one of the previous World Cup diaries. So, you know, just saying Vanishing Spray has high praise. But something else I've noticed, what is it with certain players wearing one pink and one blue boot? Can somebody explain this to me? What is the purpose of them doing that? Why do they wear one pink and one blue boot? And what is it with boots in the World Cup? In the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, the you know, pretty much every player's boot was orange. Now, most players' boots are one pink, one blue. You know, can somebody explain to me the you know, why are, I know it seems a silly thing, but why are you know, boot manufacturers making one pink and one blue? It looks odd, it looks daft, especially when, you know, there's a lot of colours going on in the kit anyway. It doesn't help really. It's like a mishmash of colours that just does not go together at all. Anyway, I've been talking for about 9 minutes now about, just recapping what's happened in the World Cup. Coming up then in the remaining second round group matches, as I'm calling, not really the second round, they're just sort of the second group games for each team. We have in some of the other groups yet to play. Obviously, England will be playing Uruguay. Italy, therefore, will be playing Costa Rica. We have Argentina playing their second game against Iran. France are going to be playing Switzerland. Germany have Ghana, and the USA have Portugal. Belgium have Russia, and though that was really that wasn't all the matches. There was just some picks really of sort of some of the best teams, you know, trying to go against each other, or the best teams who they're playing and such. So there is still some good games coming up this week. As I said, some teams are going to get eliminated. Some, you know, teams that really, there'll be some shocks, I think, in this World Cup. Look at Spain eliminated. Nobody really expected them to be eliminated, and as of their second match, having played their second match and being eliminated from it, they've only scored 1 goal in this World Cup, and that was from the penalty spot. So to not score from open play says a lot about sort of how the holders have performed in this tournament, and they haven't played well, and really, because of that, deservedly are eliminated. So yeah, anyway, that about wraps up this episode of the Gamebreakers World Cup Diary. We'll obviously have another episode of this later on in the tournament. So yeah, I've been Dave, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.